Alright lads, this is Fenner from Pro Team Frenetic Array. This is more of a video to encourage some discussion or experimentation between Zerg players. Recently I've been trying out Hydras in ZVP and I've been enjoying it a lot. I love to experiment with new shit. The idea came around when I was reading comments from lower level players on the subreddit All Things Zerg about using Hydras to hold Immortal Sentry. I kind of assumed it would be bad because lol, Hydras. But it's always easy to shrug off theory without actually trying it. So I decided to try it out and it's been going pretty well. One other thing that tempted me to try this out is that about a month ago in GSL, I called the end of a game where I believe it was Symbol who finished the game up with a Hydra Broodlord unit comp as one of the things that was stopping me from trying this is that after holding an Immortal Sentry with Hydra Ling, you would then be left with useless units, aka Hydras. But if Hydra Brood is somewhat of a viable composition, then that's not the case. It's always very hard to know if a style is viable or not when you're not playing the absolute best players in the world, or you're not at the level of those players. So all of the testing I've done so far is just against NA GMs. One other thing that may make this decent nowadays is that the recent infestor nerfs. Now that ITs don't get upgrades, it means that they're much weaker in the super late game, whereas Hydras still benefit from the range upgrades, meaning they can still have high DPS while sat under the Broodlords. So since the title of this video is about using Ling Hydra to hold Immortal Sentry, let's take a look at an Immortal Sentry game. An adjustment I've made to my opener since doing this build is that I get a lot more creep out early. My main is connected to my Nat and 3 tumors push out from my third, which allows queens to move around freely and my Hydras to move out swiftly as well. I managed to change my build without it hindering my macro. One thing that I found out is that the 4 queens that you will have help out pretty massively against an Immortal Sentry. So when the big engage actually comes, having all the bases connected to move the queens down is really nice. I also build a massive amount of lings when doing this, somewhere between 60 to 70 before starting Hydra production. This allows me to bait the army around, poke the front, and what I've noticed is when you poke the front with lings, it forces them to really start pushing really hard because, you know, they've got lings at their front, they need to do something. So it forces them to push in really hard. As you can see, there's not actually many Hydras out when this hits, but the lings do manage to get back home in time, and it's pointless for him to force field around here because the Hydra range outranges the force field, so his best bet is to force field the lings out, which he is doing, but they do manage to get in as his force fields start to run low, and as you can see, the queens do a lot of help before the main portion of Hydras arrive, so they're really useful, and then once I'm cleaning up, I send them all back to inject. So yeah, this is still experimental and this is a discussion video. Please leave your comments about why, if you think Ling Hydra is potentially good, or if you think it's bad, why do you think it's bad? And you know, if you think the late game comp of Hydra Broodlord is actually viable as well, not just the Ling Hydra holding against the Immortal Sentry. It's really nice to experiment with new styles and I like it a lot. Even if it's not a viable style, it's always nice to try things out, as you may actually find something really good that works. So yeah, go ahead and leave a comment guys, get some discussion going, and it'll all be good. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It seems like Hydras are making a comeback in all of the matchups right now, which is kind of funny since people consider them useless for so long, and now like Stefano's brought them out in ZVT, they've been used in ZVZ for a while. And if they can be used in ZVP as well, that means Hydras are in every matchup, and when they get speed in HOTS, they're going to be insane. But try this out, see how it goes for you, and if you enjoyed the video, if you want to see more content, more Zerg content, hit the subscribe button down there. I think it's actually that way, so yeah, hit that button if you want to see more content. Thanks a lot guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next vid.